signings, departures, craziness, all that good stuff. We've got so much to talk about this week on Big Play Cincy. We also have NFLPA certified contract expert Jesse James joining the show to tell us how some of this stuff works. That and more coming up next on Big Play Cincy.
What is going on, Bengals fans? Welcome to Big Play Cincy, presented by Garage Beer and Tipico Sportsbook. Drink one, bet the other. If you do them at the same time, you come crying to me when you lose your money. How we doing tonight, Drew?
That first sip out of the fresh crack is good.
It's so good, isn't it? It's so good.
That first one. I gotta get to Costco and get the lime. My Kroger stopped carrying the lime, and I'm a little bit upset by it.
Look, I know that our show is presented by them, but I'm not shitting you, dude. It's good beer, especially the lime. Like I'm not even. It's good.
I haven't always been like sponsored by them. I just found it and started showing that I was drinking it, and now here we are.
They were your boys, yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
right.
feeling all right. Feeling all right about things. We got Sir Boy in the chat, Nate in the chat, Darth Bengal in the chat, Tony Tapworn in the chat, Wedge Gordon in the chat. The OGs are already here. Wedge Gordon says he wants to break 3,000 viewers today, and so do we. We'll do the thing here.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Like, subscribe, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter, we'd appreciate it. But man, we've got movement. We did our emergency live stream for the Mixon situation.
We did.
So we talked a good deal about that.
I tweeted it. Oh, I might have.
Me too. I'm doing it right now.
I just tweeted it from the wrong account. Guys, just bear with us here, okay? Yeah, lots of movement today. Some good, some headed towards good, some like very painful, like rip the Band-Aid off, awful, not fun news. Obviously, I am alluding to DJ Reader switching up his cat. He went from being king of the jungle to king of the savannah. He's a lion now. Not to get scientific on you guys. Just dive into that. Drew, it's raw. It just happened today. I know you and I have talked offline. Give me your feelings right now. Finish your beer.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad, dude. I love DJ Reader.
I know.
I don't know, man. I get it. The quad injury. He's about to be 30. Detroit gave him 2 years, $27.25 million. $9 million of it was guaranteed. Man, it sucks.
It does.
It's better that he went to Detroit because, like, I lightweight root for Detroit out of the NFC. Like when the Bengals were out of it last year, I'm like, all right, let's get the Lions win. They got Michigan man Aiden Hutchinson. It's an okay transition.
That's going to be a hell of a defensive line. I didn't even think about that.
Their D line's going to be dirty, dude. They're going to be filthy. Adam Kerr says, not this Drew guy again. It's me, buddy. You're stuck with me. I see K Breezy in the chat. Mike has said, this is good because you've drawn some comparisons. I'm not gonna lie. Before everybody else tweeted it, I thought it, but I didn't do it. But Mike Gesicki is just a 4K version of 2K Ron. 1999 Ron's glow up has been one for the ages, simply unmatched. Not even Khloe Kardashian had this great of a glow up. Gentlemen, hide your wives. Hey, that's a high compliment because I know you're not getting all the surgeries the Kardashians got.
I gotta tell you guys, I think the white blonde guy with the crew cut is why we look alike. But if we stood next to each other, I believe Mike Gesicki is 6'6", and I am a meager 6'2". So that would change everybody's perception very quickly.
Sir Boy said he's here. He's here for Drew Takes and Garage Beer. Hell yeah, brother.
Love it. Love it.
Get it in the camera.
I'm trying to get a hold of Gesicki. So if anybody out there knows how to get a hold of the guy, I want to get a hold of him. I want to talk to him.
Doppelganger situation.
Bring him on here. We got stuff to talk about, man.
We do have NFLPA certified contract specialist Jesse James coming on here in just a few minutes. As we always tell you guys, we are morons. So we decided this is a good time of the year to get somebody who is smart to come in and give us a little bit of the contract situation. How do these deals come down? How are they negotiated? Yeah. Excited to get some information from him. Before we do that, though, we can talk about some of the signings that the Bengals have made. Obviously, we talked a little bit on our emergency live here about Geno Stone coming over from Baltimore. Like to steal a talented guy away from a division rival. I'm very excited about him playing deep.
Robbed him. Yeah, 100%. We'll get to Vonn Bell, but like this safety room is deep, man. Like last year we had Dax Hill, who a lot of people have noticed was struggling a little bit, but is still a very good football player. And we had Jordan Battle. I mean, just lights out play. Like, dude is a stud. So adding Geno Stone there to be the rangy guy, he said today in his interview, he said, I want to be a ball hawk and win here in Cincinnati. So, dude, if he can repeat 7 interceptions, I'm game. I'm game for that, man.
And you get him for 2 years, $15 million. I think $6 million of it was a signing bonus or guaranteed. Awesome. I can't remember. There's been so much going on.
Let's go.
But yeah, I love it. Yep. What I loved the most about it is how much the Baltimore fans hated it. That's what warmed my heart.
Yeah,
because I saw videos and tweets and stuff. They were not happy about it. So that makes me feel really good. And go ahead.
Finish.
I was transitioning. So finish your thought.
Yes. Okay. So I went to some of the more prominent accounts that like I'm amicable with, and I searched Geno Stone. And if you go there last year, dude, they love him. They loved him, bro.
You're amicable with Baltimore fans? I didn't know that was possible.
There's a couple.
Dude, they hate me. I think there would be money on my head if I went to Baltimore.
That's
Baltimore
how I am.
Fans hate me.
We work for Big Play, and I think if I step foot in Cleveland, I'd get shot on site. But if you look back, they loved him last year, dude. They freaking loved him because he played lights out. And he signs over here. Oh, whatever. You got our third safety. Oh, have fun with our leftovers. Like, yeah, we'll have fun. We'll have fun watching him pick off Lamar and force you guys to hand the ball to Derrick Henry. God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we can get to that in a minute. I just want to get through some of it a little bit quick. Some of the stuff we already discussed when we went live the other night and had a ridiculous amount of people watching. We also have the Zach Moss signing. Zach Moss comes over from Indianapolis after having a pretty good year. Led the league in rushing when he was filling in for Jonathan Taylor when he was hurt. A little bit younger, cheaper, more tread on the tires, less mileage on him than Joe Mixon. I think maybe a better scheme fit and a better pass blocker. Now, the coinciding move with that was we got on here and talked about the Bengals cutting Joe Mixon. The next day, they decided they weren't going to cut him. They went ahead and traded him to Houston, got a 7th-round pick back. So that's pretty much Houston saying, hey, we'll give you something so we don't have to compete with other teams. And then today, Mixon gets a nice deal, 3 years, $27 million, gets him about $9 million a year out there in Houston. Like we talked about the other night, nothing but love for Joe Mixon. Salute to him. Good for him for going to a good spot, getting a nice deal, and being able to continue his career. So, I think we touched on that probably about as much as we could on the live from the other night. If you guys missed that, go back and check it out.
He did. Yes. Go watch that. That was a fun one. He did in his presser today, say he likes pass blocking. So that's good. Like we need that. Joe needs that. I love hearing it.
Yeah. And then, they get a little bit more active. What was this, Tuesday, I believe, when they signed Ron's doppelganger / worst grittier on the planet, Mike Gesicki. So we haven't dove into that one anymore, or too much since it happened. So other than realizing that you guys are identical twins, how do you feel about the Gesicki signing?
I'm pumped, man. He supplements that Tyler Boyd receiver. He's a big slot receiver that plays tight end. It is what it is. That Boyd production loss is going to go to him unless they sign a Hunter Renfrow or something like that. But I like it, dude. I like a tight end that we can throw to. We had Hayden Hurst, who was pretty good, and we really haven't seen that since. It fell off last year. So Tanner Hudson. Sorry, I apologize, Tanner Hudson. But with Gesicki coming in, dude, he's a weapon. He's not just a tight end. So outside of being devilishly handsome, obviously, because we look alike. I think he's going to be great.
Why do you look like Mike Gesicki, and everybody tells me I look like Jonah Williams?
It's the beard.
Jonah Williams.
Beard.
Jonah Williams, Arizona Cardinals. Went out and got him some left tackle money. So he's going to be down there. But I think honestly, Gesicki's going to play more in the slot than he is a true tight end. I think
100%.
I think it was Goodberry. I'm not sure. There's a lot of smart people saying things on the internet during free agency, but somebody said like 60% of his snaps have come from the slot as it is. So I almost wonder if he's more of a Tyler Boyd replacement than 100%. Anything. And I think that still keeps the door open for a Tanner Hudson to come back and the Bengals to draft a tight end also. So I think that still leaves the door wide open. Obviously, it's a 1 year, $3.25 million deal or whatever the case is. So Kevin said, buy no but Jonah. All right. But. If this is what I got a better ass than Jonah Williams if this is what we're doing. If you're going to tell me I look like Jonah Williams, I'm caked up back there. Gotta stop doing that. Tony, Gesicki more of a Tyler Boyd replacement. I kind of agree.
Yeah, he absolutely is. 100%. Yeah. And I want to clear something up here. Like when you guys watch him gritty, you can hate it all you want, but that is peak male athleticism and movement. You know what I mean? For us white guys.
Would you be saying that if you didn't look like him? If he had a beard and dark hair, would you be saying that? Or are you just trying to look out for this guy now because everybody's saying you look like him?
No. I capped on it, right? It was the white man's gritty, and people just got to understand that, okay? Not all of us have drip like the mailman, right? Stank. That dude's got drip. Booty. I bet little Stankaboot can do a mean gritty, but Gesicki and I, that's our gritty, okay? Don't try to take
everybody pause. Look at the camera, Ron. Everybody just pause. Just look at the camera.
All right.
Now everybody just pause. Go ahead and screenshot this. Now go find a picture of Mike Gesicki and put them right next to each other. It's weird. There's Wedge Gordon in the chat with a little stanky booty. Rawr.
Stanky booty. Rawr. We gotta get that guy on the show. We gotta get him on the show. Shit.
Dude, when I met him in person, I was so shocked because he just looked so much taller on video.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. But back to Gesicki. Yes, he's the Tyler Boyd replacement 100%. You're going to have Sample out there blocking. You're going to have Gesicki. I think it's Gesicki.
That might be right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said Gesicki. But you're going to have him catching touchdown passes. Like he's going to have a 700-yard season easily over that. Like he's going to be good.
He's tall too, man. He's a big dude.
He was like
6'6". He was supposed to be like the next best thing coming out of Penn State.
Yeah.
Then he went to Miami when they didn't have a quarterback. He went to New England. He was kind of like the third option in the tight end kind of room.
New England was just a terrible choice. There was no offense there. I don't know why he went to New England, but he's here now, so we'll take that. Yeah, if you think we look alike, and we ever I'm going to try to avoid taking a picture with him because I'm again 6'2", he's 6'6", so there's your difference. But yeah, awesome.
That's how I could spot the difference. If it was like the movie, like who's the real one? Like, the tall one.
Yes. No, but I love the signing. That's all I got to say about it. He's a pass catching tight end that's going to replace Tyler Boyd's production.
Yeah. So I think it's another Band-Aid that I kind of said I didn't want, but since that's the route that they chose to go, he's been inconsistent, but I also don't think he's ever really been utilized that well. I think Burrow will definitely get the best out of him.
Do you think if it was a 2-year deal, you wouldn't be saying it was a Band-Aid? Do you think you're just saying that because it's a 1-year deal?
Maybe. I mean, maybe. Yeah, you give a guy 2 years or something like that. That could be close to it. So we are at a break here after talking about Mike Gesicki. We will get to the rest of the signings after we talk to somebody. Like we said, we are idiots. We're not smart human beings. All right. Everybody's asking me like cap numbers. I'm like, look, you need to go to Andre Perota's Twitter. Don't know math. Don't know numbers. Not me. So we decided as a dumb program, we would reach out to a smart person to help us kind of discuss these things. And he has popped in to the waiting room. So we're going to go ahead and bring him in. We're going to learn a lot today just because personally, we're kind of dumb people. So we're going to bring in NFLPA certified contract advisor, Jesse James. Jesse, how you feeling, man?
What's up, guys? Hooday.
It's good to see you, man. Doing all right?
Likewise. I feel a little slighted. I feel slighted. You're not wearing your suit.
Oh yeah, dude. It'd be too hot. I'd sweat down here if I had that.
Oh, I hear you.
I'm digging the Chase jersey back there, man.
You like that? Yeah. Thank you. That's my pride and joy.
Heck yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us. Like Drew said, we've been obviously communicating on Twitter for a while now, but finally it's just like, dude, free agency contracts are flying like machine gun fire. We got to get this guy on and talk about how these even work. Because honest to God, I don't know. Sign a paper and you play. That's all I know. So
yeah. No, it's definitely the fun time of the year for people in my business. We definitely put in the work. Contracts start basically when the season ends. We're looking at what their stats were, what everyone else's stats were, just kind of gauging the market. You don't really know what the market's going to do till they set that salary cap, and this year it just ballooned. I mean, 30 million plus. I believe 13 million more than they were thinking. I remember I was talking with Troy Blackburn, and even he had an idea, but he had no idea it was going to go up that much. So even the ownership is kind of left in the dark. They gauge it, but they never know until it's announced as well. So and that plays a big part into contracts like T. Higgins. Hope they can get something done, but
you and me both.
It's looking rough.
Yeah, and if you followed me on Twitter, I'm not optimistic that something's going to get done with T.
Yeah.
A lot of it is in the ownership's favor. They have all the leverage right now. The dreaded franchise tag, and let me tell you something straight off the bat: the franchise tag is hated. NFLPA hates it. Players hate it.
Interesting.
Only people that like it are the owners.
So the franchise tag is used on a player as a vehicle to lock them in so a deal can be worked out. But as we see in the NFL, and Drew, I'll shut up here so you can talk as well. But as we see in the NFL, it's, I hesitate to use the word, but it's almost abused. It's like, gotcha, you're going to stay here.
It used to be called the prison tag.
Oh, God.
I mean, in the 90s, it was referred to literally as the prison tag. And I don't know, I nerd out on this kind of stuff, and the history of it goes back all the way to when John Elway was a free agent, and the owners were saying, hey, we can't let this guy hit free agency. What are we going to do? How are we going to keep him? And sure enough, the franchise tag was created by the owners. So
wait, the Elway situation is what created it, or it was there beforehand?
No. That's what created it. That's my understanding of how it was created.
That's wild.
There's a good article by Sports Illustrated about it. Just good old Google. We agents use Google for everything, man. Spot Track and Over the Cap. Those are our best friends. I'm constantly going to Over the Cap and looking and seeing where guys fall in the market. And realistically, you can get a good grasp on where your guy falls or where your favorite player falls just by looking at similar stats. Again, talking about how contracts get started, you look at the stats from the prior season. You go back as far as you can, really. It's about building that leverage for your guy.
Now, I'm glad that you say that you guys use like Spot Track and stuff like that, because I have heard that in contract negotiations, a lot of times PFF numbers are used. Do you know if that's a real thing or not?
Sure.
People are like, well, look at my PFF. This is what you should pay me. Or the owners or the front office say, well, look at this grade. And they try to use that for contract leverage.
100%. Anything that favors your client, you use. And then adversarial, anything that is not good for your client, the ownerships, the executives there will use. They throw it all out on the table. You'll hear a lot of kind of the big analysis guys talking about the importance of having an agent. Here's my plug. But it's true. Like the Lamar Jackson situation, he didn't have an agent, and he had to go in and hear how not awful, obviously, but what bad things the ownership thought of him. And we're buffers for that. We're told, hey, like, look, we think he's an injury risk. We don't think he's going to play a full season. We don't think that, against 3-4 defenses, he's any good. We don't think that he can get separation off against press corners. You tell a wide receiver that, someone with, a decent size ego, and they don't handle it very well. So in a sense, we're used as the buffer between ownership's kind of bad takes and what we don't necessarily want them to hear. Obviously when it comes to terms of contracts, we disclose all of that, but they don't want to hear the bad, the negative from the club that they've been with for years. And let me tell you something, it happens. They will dig and dig and dig and find everything. They'll, going back even further, the whole, I remember Ben Roethlisberger's contract where he wasn't allowed to ride a motorcycle. I mean,
I do.
They put that rider in there, and I'm telling you what, from people that I've talked to, he wasn't happy about it, but give and take. What's your throwaway? Ultimately, what was that worth to him? Probably an extra couple $1 million, and he got it, and he was happy, and we rode off into the sunset, so to speak. So
not on a motorcycle.
No.
No.
That's interesting. So, I guess in layman's terms, or as least scientific as you can, walk us through the life of a contract from what you've described there, right? Hey man, we're in the room. You suck at this. You're good at this, until the player signs it and we all cheer and see the picture on Twitter. Like, where does it begin? When do the negotiations happen? And is there a literal handshake?
So to speak, yeah. I mean, legally, nothing can happen until legal tampering. They don't even want us to call it legal tampering anymore. They want us just to call it the negotiation window.
Okay.
So, as soon as that starts, phone starts ringing, emails start coming in. Some owners still like to go with email. One or two might still use the old fax machine now.
That's the Bengals. Mike Brown's probably warming up the old fax machine before he calls Geno Stone.
That's what happened to Reader right there. The fax didn't go through.
Right. And, up to that point, we already have our number. We've already, done our comparable players. We've looked into, what we think the market is. Now, is that the number we go after? Absolutely not. I mean, we're gonna bring it up. It's the old negotiating tactic of, and I hate this tactic, but the rule of three. You have a number, they have a number. You have a number, they have a number. Meet in the middle on the third time. It's an old practice, but old habits are hard to break with some owners. Some teams you can come in there and if you're a player with a lot of leverage, you can just kind of name your price, which we're going to see with Jamar Chase. Ultimately, a lot of dominoes are still going to have to fall with that. But yeah, so legal tampering opens. The old we'll call it wives' tale of the combine and going and talking. I've never opened conversations with anybody about contracts at the combine. Now, of course, you can kind of get into a little bit of what are you thinking, but no negotiations actually take place.
Okay.
You're probably talking about my tweets there, because I was like, yeah, Schefter and Rappaport about to fire off these tweets they've had in their draft since the combine. Because I just thought everybody's all over Indy, just tampering everywhere. At the combine, out to dinner, after the combine in Indy, probably at the Slippery Noodle, getting boozed up, talking to people. I didn't know.
No, I mean, it's definitely a club, so to speak, up there. If you're ever, you guys should check it out next year. It's a good time. You literally can. I was standing next to Steve Smith getting coffee. Elizabeth Blackburn is sitting down. I believe she was doing an interview, or at least just talking shop with someone. And it's cool.
Was it the Minnesota Vikings?
It was not. No. I don't think.
Just check.
I didn't recognize who it was, so I'm not even sure if they were in football.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were in some facet, but so you do have conversations. You don't negotiate. You don't even really give your number, but you don't need to. Like everyone in this field knows what the market is. As soon as that salary cap is set, you know really what the number is. And if you saw on Twitter, I was able to do that with Noah Fant. Like, you just kind of look at what the comparables are, so going into that legal tampering period what realistically what that number is going to be. How Kappa signed at 1201, I'm not sure, but needless to say, I don't think we're going to see 1201 contracts being announced.
It feels like they kind of put the kibosh on that right after that, because I was expecting that on Monday. I was expecting like 1201, and we got nothing. I just wonder if that's something they've been told to either keep closer to their chest, or if they actually have done something about that. Because you're telling me that they negotiated a contract, got it to Schefter, and it got to Twitter in a minute.
We're reminded about what tampering can do. So, yeah, I mean, I can't speak for every agent. I just know it's not worth it. I mean, you know what the number is. You know what going into it is. I found it kind of odd. I don't know if you guys remember, but like Pac-Man Jones sent out a tweet saying Ryan Jensen was signing with the Bengals like 3 days before legal tampering for the exact same number that Ryan Jensen signed for. But again, these players are smart. There's a reason why you see NFL players turn around and be successful agents. I mean, John Thornton, look at him. He's killing the game.
Yeah.
Former Bengal John Thornton.
Absolutely. West Virginia Mountaineer, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once that window hits, your phone battery, you better have a backup phone battery.
Okay.
Because it's coming in, especially if you have one of these top-notch guys. Everyone kind of, hits you up, so to speak. And again, you also have a feel for where your guy is going to go. Like, for instance, you're not going to see the Bengals opening negotiations with a wide receiver one. You're not going to see them, try a guy trying to place a quarterback or, a left tackle. You're just not going to happen unless you have a decent backup left tackle. So you kind of have a feel for what they're going to do. Secondly, you better have your tax knowledge up front and center too, because some of these teams might come at you. For instance, the Calvin Ridley situation with Jacksonville, with New England, with Tennessee. I think it was like a $3 million difference if he signed in New England for what the taxes would have been in not Nashville, but in Tennessee and Jacksonville. So New England knows that they have to pump that number up just a little bit.
Offset.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that's another kind of tactic that you have to go in, kind of letting your client know, letting your player know, different places have different taxing advantages, so to speak.
Yeah.
So speaking of Calvin Ridley, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Ron, but
go right into Ridley. I was going that way too.
When I see people aren't going to like it when I say this name. When I see David Mulugeta tweet out a picture of Calvin Ridley on FaceTime, and it's like the face you make when you find out the bag you're getting. So was it literally just Mulugeta talking to the Titans? Okay, deal's done. Then he calls Calvin Ridley. Like, how much does an agent gauge? Like, he has to ask the player, like, hey, would you go to these 3 teams before I even talk to him? And then Calvin Ridley just answers a FaceTime like, hey, I just got $90 million. I'm going to Tennessee.
All of that is done up front. I was listening to NFL Sirius Satellite, and they had Kirk Cousins on. And if I heard it correctly, it sounded like Kirk Cousins was saying, hey, I gave my agent just full disclosure, find the best fit. That to us is our duty of disclosure. Like, we're covered. Now we go out, we hunt for the best deal. Now, of course, a good agent's having that conversation with his client well before, like, hey, look, here's my opinion for what the best situation is. And these guys, I mean, Kirk Cousins has been in the league a decade, he knows what the best situations are. He knows good situations, bad situations. And I'm sure they had that conversation way up front. And it could just be, just kind of blowing some hot air saying, yeah, I just told my agent handle it and go do it. But you sit down and you talk with them, and you have the pros and cons of each city. If you want to break it down even further, I mean, some cities you're going to have better school districts. I mean, some cities you're going to have, again, better dining. Cincinnati, for one,
it's like buying a house. I mean, it is. Really,
it's the same. It is. I mean, it's the same reason you get a real estate agent. Obviously, different money is involved here. Life changes are involved. But yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of mindset of like, hey, what market do we want to go to? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? But yeah, once those messages, phone calls start coming in, you say, hey, look, this is our number. This is what we want. All right. Are you close? Is that what you value this guy at as well? Yeah. All right. Next thing you want to talk about, obviously, is signing bonus and guaranteed money up front. It's very important to players, is that cash flow in year one, as well as how much am I guaranteed that I'm going to take, afterwards. Some players, they don't know enough about that stuff. And that's when they say, look, that's on you. Get me the bag. Like, make sure that it's structured good, or structured well enough to not get me cut in year 2, year 3. And that's kind of the pitfall of it, is it's hard to protect against that, really. As you saw with Joe Mixon in that situation, he was due the $3 million bonus. I do know that he met with the Bengals going up to that a couple weeks ago, and they left it at, okay, you're not taking a pay cut. Hey, you're good. You're staying. And that was actually kind of what was relayed to Joe. And if you see his press conferences, he looks, don't get me wrong, he's stoked to play football, but I think he wanted to stay in Cincinnati. I know he wanted to stay in Cincinnati. I'm not going to say I think. I mean, I know he did. But, he is kind of where he's appreciated now, $27 million potentially richer. And, go ahead.
He went to the front office, said, I'm not taking a pay cut. And they just said, okay, you're cool. See you in training camp.
That's my understanding.
Wow.
I didn't talk to Joe. Specifically. I talked to somebody who's, very close with Joe. And that's when I kind of made the tweet up of like, hey man, like, Joe is 100% staying next year. No pay cut, same cash, same everything. Let's go. Let's ride. And I was wrong, and I ate crow on that one.
Dude, I'm wrong.
Things change so quick, man. Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm wrong every minute.
You see all the shit I say. Don't worry about it.
This was my first foray into like the coldest takes, which has like 750,000 followers on it.
They got you. Oh, you got freezing cold takes.
Oh yeah, I was like, I let it ride for like an hour, and then people were pretty ruthless, and I was like, I'm gonna delete just that part. But I'm keeping the fact that I called the $8.85 million. Like, that's his market. That's where he's at. And then he signs a $9 million AAV, and I'm like, hey, I was a little bit wrong, but
it's fine.
Right on the market. So
I see your hand. You got a wedding ring on. So we're wrong every day of our lives, dude. So don't sweat that. But that's interesting. So we've come up. The agents talk to the team, the players. Yep, I'm good. I'll go, and let's use Geno as an example. We just signed Geno Stone, right? These guys, it's announced, and they're on a plane that day. Like, how does that work? Like, you as the agent are like, hey buddy, congrats. I'll talk to you later. And then the team's just like, here's your flight, get here.
Yep.
You're on the next flight out of Baltimore.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, hey, name, they have all of this. So the NFLPA, and I did say about Spot Track and everything. We have a database with the NFLPA as well, obviously.
Sure.
But
sure.
But yeah, they have all their information. So they're able to just, hey, Delta Airlines, next flight, we got to book a flight for Geno Stone, and he's going to Cincinnati. You get the itinerary. Each club has like that, simple word, and I can't even think of it. Person who handles all of that. They'll meet them at
concierge. Okay,
concierge,
if
thank
you will.
You.
Yeah.
Gosh. Right. Been a long day.
It's been a long week.
So they do, and they're ready to rock and roll. They know going in, hey, as soon as this gets announced, I'll be ready. Now, legal tampering, you obviously can't agree to it until the 4 p.m. window. So Gino probably came in sometime yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe Tuesday. Some of these guys will come in early and they're so excited. They go and they're like, hey, I'm going to look at the housing market. I'm going to look at condos, apartments. Like,
why not? Yeah. Why not?
So, some of these guys, even the lesser money making guys, will hit up friends on the team and be like, hey, can I couch surf for a little bit?
That's good point.
It's what they do. Especially, if they're from the same college, they play ball together. Draft picks do it every single year, especially the ones who are kind of undrafted free agents, fringe 6th, 7th rounders. We're advising do not buy. Like
don't buy a house.
I mean, those guys. Say you're a guy that's brought in as an undrafted free agent, and it's like that 5 weeks of training. I don't know how many weeks it is of training camp, and then you got like a week left before the regular season comes, and you get that league minimum, and you're cut like that week, and you don't get your league minimum money, because these guys before training camp they're making thousands of dollars a month, and then all of a sudden during training camp they're making like $20,000 a month, but then that just goes away. So don't buy.
Honestly, it's not. It's a per diem. Each player gets the same per diem during training camp. Like it's brutal. It's not minor league baseball-esque, but no, it's decent. It's livable. They supply them food. Yes, the Bengals do supply them food.
Breaking
for training camp purposes.
Wait,
it's
real
mandated.
Breaking?
It's mandated by the CBA. What do we got?
Is it real breaking news?
Or is it just the fact that they get lunch and food?
That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying there was actual breaking news.
Yeah,
you can't just say breaking. Hold on. Whoa.
Not this time of year. Jesse's like, who are these morons? I just jumped on.
I'm like, my phone is what I'm using right now, and I can't see if text messages are coming in. So
I thought you were about to give us a Becton or Tart news or whatever. So speaking of McKai Becton, right? Like, he's in for a visit, right? Like,
yep.
And everybody can sign wherever they want now, right? And it's not tampering. We're in like a real window. Are there rules around visits or anything like that? Like, can the guy come here and have a week vacation and then go back and not sign or sign? Like, how's that work?
Nope. No. Again, mandated by the CBA. You can have some expenses, so to speak. Okay. But again, you can't gift a player to sign. I mean, that's same thing with agents. Yeah. I don't see why you can't. At least I have never been told that you can't.
The reason is I've been hearing that McKai Becton's at the precinct, Jeff Ruby's right now. Is what I keep.
There's a picture. Yeah. Could you imagine being a player and they're whining and dining you, and the waitress comes up and I don't know who's there, right? Let's just say Pollock's there. How will you be paying tonight? And Pollock goes, separate checks.
No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Holy crap.
There are rules. Like, you have to report everything to the league.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw on Twitter, people were saying like it's been reported McKai Becton visited Cincinnati. That means he left the facility.
Sure.
Okay. That's what that means. They have to report it when they're in the facility, when they're out of the facility. They are checking and balancing everything, making sure, again, you're not giving them some exquisite gift to come sign.
So that's good that you say that, because there's a lot of, right now, they literally just tweeted that out probably an hour ago. McKai Becton visited the Cincinnati Bengals. Yep. That language means something. A lot of people just jump to the conclusion, okay, it means he's not signing. No, it just means he left the facility, right?
Yeah. So he left Paycor Stadium.
If you keep scrolling on that, Andre Peralta does a great job of saying, he explains it, but like, you know what, that's what they do, and it just means that they left it. They're probably having dinner, and then I chimed in, confirmed they are having dinner.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
So
yeah.
I did.
Might go to Kenwood Mall.
Right. You never know.
Well, that's wonderful. Absolutely more than I was expecting explanation wise. Like, great. I mean, Drew, I guess my next thing to pivot to with you, Jesse, is like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble here. Like, how do these contracts work with the Bengals, man? Like, what happened? Like, from your expertise, what happened with Mixon? You kind of already covered that. What happened with Reader? I don't need numbers or anything like that, because none of us know. But like, when something breaks down like that, and you see DJ Reader being a Lion. What went wrong?
It's pure speculation. I don't know.
100%. I'm not trying to put you on the hook here. That's why I said
this stuff does happen. Some clubs value injured players differently, and that doesn't mean that they don't value DJ any less. I mean, I do know that they were working hard to keep DJ. They love DJ. They absolutely wanted him here. The Bengals historically, they are. They're not frivolous with guarantees. We know that. And when injuries are there, it's kind of the same thing as like guaranteeing money into the future years. They're not going to do it. They might give some, but they're not going to give $9 million. I know a lot of people were saying, man, $9 million, that was it for guaranteed. It was out of what the Bengals, I'm guessing, were going to offer. Now, I think the AAV was probably very similar. I looked at DJ Reader's situation and kind of where I thought he fell, and I thought he fell right in line with like Dalvin Tomlinson up in Cleveland, who's right around 14 million AAV. So I thought he would get kind of closer to that, a nice little bump from where he was at, because I think he was right below Dalvin in AAV. So I think it came down to guarantees. Another thing, and again, I haven't seen an injury clause, so to speak, from the Bengals in, oh gosh, this is going back to like Bryson Albright. I don't know if you were familiar with Bryson, but he had an injury provision in his contract that we, Richard Katz and I, like went over and over again, redlining and saying like, you guys got to change this. You got to change this. And they said, no, ultimately you can sign it as is, or Bryson's not going to play for the Bengals. Wow. And ultimately, we didn't have leverage. He was an undrafted free agent. I believe at that point in time, he played a year with Buffalo, and then signed with Cincinnati. Or he may have went to Arizona and then Cincinnati. But again, he had, some minor back issues, and they caught it with a medical and said, you got to have this injury waiver, so to speak. If something happens, you're going to forfeit X amount of dollars. And it's like, we don't want to do that. Like,
that's crazy.
Why would we want to? So, and we didn't have leverage in that situation to say, throw this out or no dice. We had to say, all right. So I think there was injury language associated with the contract that his agent probably said, no, like, we're not going to do this. And hey, by the way, Detroit's not going to do it. I don't know. I would love to see the contract and see. I'd love to see what was offered. I'd love to know the guarantees that they threw around. I don't think we'll ever know that. So we can speculate all we want. It's not a wrong answer. I mean, it's business is business. The way that the Bengals do things historically maybe have been questionable, but within the last half decade or so, I think they've nailed their decisions. So saying that they weren't going to do it,
I kind of agree. And that's tough. You as an agent, that's a tough job, because some of these guys, some of them, I mean, they get released and they've got like an injury designation. That's tough. I mean, that's.
And the Reader thing falls in line with how we've seen the Bengals do business in the past, right? Like, there's three major things that are working against him in that situation. One, it's his third contract. Two, he's going to be 30 at the beginning of July. And three, he's coming off the quad tear. So it always felt kind of like an uphill battle for him to come back anyway, if I separate my personal feelings from it, because I love the guy. I wanted him back so bad. But like, when you really step back and look at it, it's like, all right, this was probably set up for failure at the beginning anyway.
Hard to disagree with that. Everything was going against the third contract here, at least. But then again, you see what I'm having another brain fart. Who they just bring in who was over 30?
Rankins is going to be 30 next month.
Rankins. Yes. Rankins.
Like
so
that's 30th.
Right. So that goes against Bengal tradition, so to speak.
It's true.
Kind of and Rankins, hasn't had as severe of injury history as DJ has, but he has had, his injuries here and there. Two separate complete positions, similar but different, nose tackle versus 3 technique, or if you want to call DJ 1 technique. But again, that one technique you need, they want bigger bodies. They want guys like DJ's mold.
That's why Tiar Tart's in town.
Tiar Tart's in town, yeah. And I like that signing. He's not DJ Reader, but he's good. He's a darn good player. He's not the same size as DJ. I think Tiar Tart's pushing maybe 305 to 310.
I think he's 6'2". It was 6'2", 305. I think. That's Google for you. Google for you, but.
And then DJ, he's upwards of 330, 335, maybe bigger. I'm not 100% sure. So bringing Tart in, it's great. Solid addition if they can close that deal. I just wonder how much effect he's going to stop the run. That's what he does. But he's not DJ.
It's the old and Drew, I believe you tweeted this out, and I liked the way you phrased this because it just seems like what they do sometimes. Let the one guy walk, replace him with two cheaper guys. So.
Yeah.
The old 1 for 2, just like they did with Mike Hilton and Chidobe Awuzie when William Jackson left. That's part of the Bengals prerogative a lot of the time. And I got to give him credit. As of late, it has worked. So I got to put my faith in Duke in that situation.
I really do.
Jesse, before we let you get out of here, I know Ron may have something else for you. I just want to point out the fact that there is a framed picture of a three-way behind you lets me know everything I need to know about you. You're a good man. Side. It's on the other side. Camera flips it. I do that quite frequently. Don't worry. But the framed three-way lets me know all I need to know about you. Solid guy.
We are Skyline diehards. I don't know where you fall on the Skyline versus Gold Star, but we're a weekly visit to Skyline. My 4-year-old celebrates his birthday there on his birthday every year.
Drew and I are Skyline partners. We love it. I love the city of Cincinnati. I love all types of food. But yeah, just like Drew said, man, we want to give you your night back here. 40 over 45 minutes with us. Thank you so much. Before we go, dude, plug everything. Plug your Twitter. Plug all your socials. You've got a new site running. I was on your site. I think you guys are building that up. It looks great. Plug you, man, so people can find you.
Yeah, man. At Agent Jesse James on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now. Yeah. I think on Instagram, I'm at Agent Jesse James 1. Somebody stole Agent Jesse James right out of my my grasp. But feel free to follow me. Ask me questions. I nerd out on this stuff, man. Don't be shy. If you have a question, I'm going to answer it unless it involves inside information that people don't want to know. I teach sports law at Northern Kentucky University. So if you have cousins, sons, daughters, yourself are enrolled at NKU, take my class. It's a good time. You get we tour Paul Brown. It's still Paul Brown in my heart. Paycor Stadium. You get to do a Q&A with Troy Blackburn. I bring in
really.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we need to figure this out. Come audit the class and come sit in. That'd be fun.
Right.
I'd love that.
Yeah, I bring in NBA agents, MLB agents. I brought in a MLS and FIFA agent. Still working on maybe a couple other guest speakers. I don't know what you guys are doing, but
I'd sit in. And for people who don't know, audit a class doesn't mean I'm coming in and grading Jesse on his teaching. That just means you sit in and you're not enrolled. You just sit in on the class. So yeah, that'd be
I couldn't enroll. I wouldn't get in.
Yeah.
You get into NKU, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
You see my script, my transcript?
The other stuff that I'm big on right now is NIL, name, image, and likeness. I do contracts for the college athletes, separate that from my NFLPA license. But again, I'm an attorney in Ohio. I'm an attorney in Kentucky, and I love talking football and Bengals. So who day?
So did you just who day? 100%. Did you just proclaim that you are Big Play Cincy's official attorney? Is that
you send that retainer over? You send that retainer over, and then we can talk. Hey, I'm an agent. Show me the money.
Yeah.
I drink a couple more of these. Who knows what I might say? We might need you.
You know what? Hey, we're not drinking at the current time, but garage beers are fantastic. I don't know if that's your guys' official sponsor, but
it is.
We're all about the garage beer. So I will definitely plug that for you guys. It's delicious stuff. So.
Heck yeah. All right, dude. We'll let you go. Have your night back. Hopefully your family's back from ice cream. I know they went out. Big Play Cincy here. So we're broader than the Bengals. We're going to talk baseball eventually. We'll probably talk Bearcats and other stuff. So maybe we'll bring you in on some NIL stuff there. But again, thanks, man. And like you just said, Who Dey.
Who Dey.
Who Dey. Thanks, Jesse. Have a great night, man. That dude is smart.
He's smart, and like that was great. We're live, so usually I have these reactions when we sign off. Oh, it's a good show. That was great, dude. That was awesome to have him on.
Might as well put up the Garage Beer graphic since we just went out with it. Guy doesn't even know it's our sponsor, and he loves it, dude. It's just good stuff. Shout out, drink Garage Beer. Big place since he drinks it. You should too, as long as you're old enough to.
Yeah, good disclaimer. 21 and up. Yeah.
Cut off half of Ron's head.
That's okay.
I cut off half your head because I didn't click the button quick enough. There was
get it right.
I had to pop out for a second. There was a stairs issue. I heard a lot of loud noises falling down the stairs, so I had to go check on that. But everything's fine here.
No injuries.
Nobody's injured. Everything's safe. But man, that was like we said before. Like we're dumb. That guy Jesse is very smart. We learned a lot of really, really good information from him. So I'm glad that he was there to bring that up. But I mean, the guy's got a frame 3-way behind him. So I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. I already know.
Yeah, we gotta. He needs to be a regular on here when any contract crap comes up. I do want to point out that we are well into the thousands here across all platforms. Probably
shout out
1,500 across all platforms. We really appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. Big Play Cincy. Drew just said it. Presented by Garage Beer and Tipico Sportsbook. Drink one, bet the other. If you do them at the same time, don't come complaining to me. You want to roll back into these free agencies here? We are at the 50-minute mark, but we owe it to the millions of people listening across the world to finish out these free agents.
We even got Steelers fans in here. My guy Martin, as a Steelers diehard, I love Drew Garrison's enthusiasm because his enthusiasm is limited. That is very true. I don't get excited about much. But I do get excited about the Cincinnati Bengals. The wife doing the thing in the chat. Don't forget to like the stream and share and subscribe. She's doing the thing there. There's a lot of chats rolling through there. Some questions I didn't know if I could ask Jesse on the stream. I apologize.
Yeah.
Because
delicate balance there.
Jesse's been given an invite to the Who Dey Boys tailgate. I like to stop by there early on a Sunday morning and start drinking
they're wild.
Beer.
Those guys are wild.
Those dudes are nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, glad to see him there. Tony had an issue. Oh no, Tony is coming to St. Taddy's Day Sunday. Bowling Warehouse.
Plug it.
It's going to be awesome. 12 to 5. Found out we're going to be doing some stuff there. That's going to be pretty cool. So. That's all lined up. So, yeah, hopefully to see everybody there. Now, getting back to the free agents, we don't want to keep you guys too long. We're pushing the hour limit. Thankfully, no gigantic tech issues.
No.
I'm going to bring up probably my favorite free agent signing that the Bengals have done up to this point. We're going to talk about Sheldon Rankins. Excuse me. I had Chipotle, a little burp there. Sheldon Rankins, monster. He's going to bring the pass rush that we've been missing since Larry Ogunjobi left. Dog.
Wait, we can't bark.
Ate the Bengals up the day after my birthday. I go to Paycor Stadium. I sit in great seats for my birthday that were given to me. I'm like, hell yeah. I actually drank a lot of Garage Beer that day. I got lost in Paycor Stadium 3 times. I've been going there for like 25 years. But Bengals lose to the Texans day after my birthday, and a big part of that is because Sheldon Rankins is a dog, and he had like 3 sacks that game, was all over the place. I love this. He does not solve the DJ Reader gap by any means. They play different positions. He is a 3-tech, but he is better than Larry Ogunjobi, and he's going to bring the interior pass rush that the Bengals have been missing since Ogunjobi left after the 2021 year. I cannot explain how much I love this signing. And I saw a video of him talking about his game against the Bengals. He's wearing a Stone Cold shirt, dude. The guy is cool. If you're wearing a Stone Cold shirt, you're automatically a badass. I don't make the rules.
I missed that. Yeah. Oh my God. I love the signing too. It's been a while. Sorry. I thought we had breaking news here, but I'm an idiot and can't read properly. bringing in that 3-tech to wiggle in there and get back there and beat the crap out of Russell Wilson this year, not Kenny Pickett. Are they competing? Is that a competition?
They say they're competing, but it's Kenny Pickett, dude. Like, he's not.
It's got to be Russ.
They might say it's a competition, but it's not a competition. That's Russell Wilson's team.
Yeah. But back to us. I digress. Puck Fitzberg. There we go. Cleaning up my act here. To get him there, worm in there, and put pressure on the quarterback, because we already got Trey Hendrickson, right? Stud, dog, right? They get in there. Now to have Rankins in there too in the middle, right? Because we lacked it. We lacked it last year, and there's no beating around the bush. So bringing him in, it brings in that interior pass rush that we so desperately needed last year, and I'm pumped about it. And he's a big dude. I wonder. You think he slaps on the 98 there now that? Yeah.
Bro, the news is 4 hours old, and you're just gonna give his jersey away?
Look at the picture.
Give me time to grieve. I know you wore 98 in Houston. I get it, but Jesus, man,
the body is still warm. I agree. Interesting there, though, that the pipeline for both of these gentlemen, DJ Reader and Rankins, coming here from the Texans. So there's a good trade partner there. But that's it. You just said it best. We've lacked that 3-tech interior pass rush. Now, hopefully, he can come in and get it. And your friend, Tic Tac Titans on Twitter, whose real name is
Tyler Rowland.
Tyler Rowland.
He's actually a Dayton guy. We used to work together.
He is. Yeah. We need to link up with him and Titans Week, talk to him. But I shot out a tweet to him today. It's tweet. It's always tweet to me. I'm not saying post or X.
Ever.
I just kind of like, hey man, what are we getting out of this guy? And God, let me pull it up here. And if I can't find it, I'll ad lib. But he really provided some pretty good insight. Oh man, I'm looking at Joe.
A more professional host,
yeah. So
like myself, or you would have had that tweet ready to put on the screen, but we still.
No, it's okay. I surprised you here. So I said, Mr. Tic Tac Titans, could you provide some insight, right? On I'm an idiot, man. I'm thinking
about Tiar Tart.
Yep. Erase everything I've just said. Erase everything I just said. I was talking about Tiar Tart. We'll get to Tiar Tart later. But Sheldon Rankins, you suck. Hopefully the comments are ripping my ass right now. But Sheldon Rankins coming in to just get it back on track. 3-tech, interior pass rush. Absolutely love it, man.
I got to shout out K Breezy. He's asking if my wife has ordered the number 69 Garrison jersey yet. It says I'm starting at left tackle. I'm actually starting at right tackle. I don't know if you saw the film out there, but
you are.
David Mulligetta asked me if I wanted a fully guaranteed contract. Is all I'm going to say.
How much?
I was like $37.
Holy crap! I love it. I don't know,
but on Rankins, man, I love it more than I can explain. I've got another one. This one is actually segued in by a text from Dad. Now, I have failed again. I don't have the text from Dad graphic on here because we're now using a different platform. So I stink. I screwed that up. I'm a shitty son. But
we'll get it together.
Dad's talking about the addition of Vonn Bell. Now, is this because Vonn Bell's a former Buckeye? Maybe. But the reality of the situation is I love this signing because they cut Nick Scott and his 35 pass coverage grade that we talked about on a previous show. Remember that? You told me his coverage grade, and then I busted out laughing.
Yeah.
He's gone.
It was 35, I think. It was something stupid.
But Vonn Bell comes back on a league minimum deal from the Bengals, but he's getting like almost $5 million, I think, still from the Panthers. So 8?
I think it's 8. I think it's $8 million. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong, just like when I was mistakenly talking about Tiar Tart there, but I think it's 8.
Maybe, but regardless, whatever it is, Vonn Bell's getting paid from the Panthers. So this is like a Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh situation. Vonn Bell's getting paid by the Panthers, comes back to Cincinnati on a league minimum deal for like $1.2 million. So essentially what you do is you just replaced your Nick Scott mistake. Sorry, messed up. You got the guy that he was there to replace back. Lou said last offseason it was his worst nightmare to lose both of these guys. So you get Bell back. I don't think he's going to take snaps away from Battle. I think he'll play. Yeah. I don't think he was coming back here to be an Uncle Mike like Mike Thomas was and be like an extension of a coach. But I think that what this does is the communication issues that we saw last year with the younger guys back there, with the Dax, with the Battle, with the Scott, whoever. This is a vet that knows the system. He's great at communication. He can teach these guys things, but he's also going to bring value on the field. So I think it is a 100% great re-signing, especially because you get him for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, man. Leagueman, Carolina picking up the fat half of that check. When the cute little tweets were going out and people were doing bells and all this shit. My initial tweet was like, all right, I'm with it, but that money better be right. And the money's right. So I'm extremely happy.
He's free.
Yeah, basically.
Free.
Familiar face, great communicator, great leader in the locker room and on the field. He brings a lot of sage wisdom. He's not 85 years old, but and he also brings the freaking hammer, dude. I mean, there's going to be times when a guy needs a breather. Bell, get out there. There's going to be sets where we've got multiple safeties in, right? Like he's great.
I think there's going to be a lot more safety sets.
Oh, I agree. And you've got a guy who can hit, dude. He's battling him or hammers, right? Then you got Gino back here as the rangy guy, and the writing's on the wall. Dax Hill's gonna move down a corner. I mean, it's just our the back half of our defense, I think, is going to be aggressively underrated until they hit the field and the key is turned and they're unleashed, and people are gonna be like, oh, and Bengals can play DB. I really think it's going to be the DB show out there this year.
You're talking about Vonn Bell hitting. Dude, Vonn Bell laid the hit that sent the Bengals into an upward trajectory. He made the hit that generated the new Bengals when he just blasted the shit out of Juju on Monday Night Football in 2020.
Right there.
I've got that same picture too. I never hung it up, but I have it.
KB Art.
Is that KB Art?
That's KB, baby. Yep,
that's what I thought. Shout out to KB.
Let me adjust your professionalism, moving the camera on the fly here. But 100%, man. Shot us into the stratosphere.
The last NFL pass ever from Patrick Mahomes intended for Tyreek Hill was intercepted by Vonn Bell in the 2021 AFC Championship game.
I didn't know
Vonn Bell's had his hands in some big moments in Bengals history. So I think that you're going to see a vast improvement with the secondary as a whole. Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be healthy. We already know he's a dog.
Yep.
DJ Turner, I expect things to get a lot better. He had an up and down rookie year, but he was a rookie. Dax, I think, is going to be better because I think he's going to be used better. I think he's going to be up in the box more. I think he might be the new. You remember when he came off the edge against the Rams on Monday Night Football and just waxed Matt Stafford? I think you're going to see a lot more of that. Jordan Battle's only going to be better. Big Jordan Battle fan. Geno Stone, already a dog. Tyson Anderson, fast and really good if he's rehabbed from his ACL and up and ready to go. So we have so much going on the back end, and Lou loves that. That is where that's when you say let Lou cook. That's when Lou starts cooking, when he's got all those kind of ingredients and some Swiss Army knives back there that can confuse with the best of them. Patrick Mahomes didn't know what the hell to do against that defense quite a few times. So he can go out there and compete with the best. I am hyped. Shout out Joey Votto. I know he's not a Red anymore, but to use his term, I'm jacked to the tits about the defensive backfield.
That's last year I was in on the defensive line, and that was what I was following and talking about the whole year. This year, I don't think I've ever been more excited. Obviously, Jesse Bates, ever been more excited for a Bengals defensive back core than we've got coming in right now. I'm again jacked to the tits. It's going to be sick. You're going to piss a lot of people off with that.
It was keeping the second beer cold. That's all it was doing. So yeah, man, I love it. I think that it's a very low risk, high reward type signing, and you don't have to pay him anything. So as of now, those are all the guys that the Bengals have brought in from the Stone signing to Moss to Gesicki, Rankins. Now we got Vonn Bell. Now we kind of hit on this already. McKai Becton is visiting or did visit with the Bengals, is allegedly down at the precinct right now having dinner. Don't know who's there with him. And I'm just going to be the guy. I'm going to be the negative Nelly, the negative Ned. McKai Becton stinks at football, dude. I don't like it at all if he signs. The only thing I like is his age and his size, but other than that, I'm just like, man, this doesn't move the needle for me.
I know. Bit. I think it doesn't move the needle for a lot of people. For me, I look at the age and the size, and I look at last year where he stunk, and I go, okay, I get it, but he's young, and if we sign him, he can get motivated and he can play football, right? Like truly, Becton is here until the guy we draft at 18, because I think that's what we're going with at 18. I think they're going offensive tackle. If they don't, sue me. I got a great lawyer, Jesse James. You just saw him on here. So, but I think that he is there, and eventually the guy we draft is going to take his job. It is what it is. And I don't know, maybe Becton slides over and plays a different position. This is all speculation, right? But like, I don't mind it unless we go and get Cowboys. Help me out, Cowboys.
Tyron Smith,
right? That's your best option. I
don't think he wants to play right tackle.
I don't think he does either.
Left.
Yeah, I think he does too. But like this, I think Becton can come in and be motivated and play. Like if he comes in and he sucks, he might not have a job after this. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that's probably what it's going to be. And Nick Fout, your lights are, my lights are flickering. I feel like my lights are flickering.
My whole house is doing it. I don't know why. Let's just drive on. I don't know if the
storms
are.
Dude, are you getting like cyber attacked?
Maybe. No, the storms might be hitting.
We are supposed to get some storms up our way.
Yeah.
I want to get this comment from Nick Fout. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Go back and watch Becton's first year, which was his only year with Frank Pollock. So we are looking at a Frank Pollock reunion. I know their lights just flickered. Must be Ohio. Okay. And that's true. Becton's rookie year, Pollock loved him. He was a highly touted draft prospect. All of that. I just don't know how much faith I still have in Frank Pollock.
I know people want to run him out of town.
I gotta say it.
I know
they've spent the money, and we still have the problems. So who do I look at now?
But we've improved. I think like if you look at it, like you got to look at the situation. And I'm going to defend him a little bit here, and that's okay. Jackson Carman got forced down his throat. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a guy he wanted, right? He came in, and I'm not saying Pollock was like, you go sit in the corner. I don't like you. I'm not training you. That's just, he's a professional. It is what it is. Volson's young, right? So he's coming into his own. I'm not going to badmouth these guys, but like a couple of the other offensive linemen had down years as well. Someone's going to say, well, why do you think they had down years? Pollock, I don't know, man. I think it was a down year. I have faith in Pollock still. I think Becton could come in, and I think the guy at 18 or 49 is going to come in, and he's going to eventually be the guy that plays opposite of Orlando.
Well, here's how it's going to go with Becton. They're going to draft a right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably at 18, like you said, maybe 49. And there's two options with Becton, and none of them lead with him in Cincinnati next year if he signs. One, he has a hell of a year at right tackle. He uses all of that. He's huge. He's fast. He's young. If he puts it all together and has a hell of a year, he's going to go get paid elsewhere. Or he's going to stink, maybe lose his job to a rookie midway through the season or whenever the bye week falls, and then he's going to be a free agent anyway. So I don't think
he's we're either going to get rid of him or he's going to get a big contract with the Bills or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I would rather go get Bakhtiari than McKai Becton. McKai Becton is not
crazy. Really?
McKai Becton is worse than Jonah Williams, dude. It's a clear downgrade. McKai Becton is a worse football player than Jonah Williams.
I'm an optimist. I think he can come in and do it. I know. I hear you. No, I agree. Like evidence in front of me. I've looked at PFF. I've looked at tape, right? I'm going back to that first year. I'm looking at that. I'm hoping the connection with Pollock can work, and I hope he can come in and play football until we don't need him anymore. I hope he comes in and plays lights out, right? Like that's
of course. If he puts stripes on his helmet, I'm rooting for him. Don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for him.
Scenario A, come here, ball out, be a right tackle, kick ass. Scenario B, play good enough, man. Don't get Joe injured. New guy eventually supplants you, Latham, Mims, whoever it is. I don't know. And we have our right tackle the future, because truly that's what I think if we sign Beck. This guy's not on the team yet. We're just talking here.
It's if we sign anybody, though.
True. Yeah,
because there's not a right tackle that you sign out there right now to a 3-year deal and say that's the answer. So like that's how it is with anybody they sign.
The future at right tackle is who we're taking at 18 or 49.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's what I think. In worst case scenario, Becton comes in and stinks to high hell. We took a D tackle at 18 and we took a tight end at 49. I don't know. This is all speculation. And we're just screwed, right? That's the worst case scenario. I don't think it's going to happen. I think scenario 2 is going to happen. So I don't know. He's at the precinct. Tony. Yeah. Turning on the Reds. Love you, buddy.
Tony.
Yeah. We went over.
Yeah.
Let's talk Tiar Tart here. I'm going to go back. Do you have a graphic for him?
Yeah. I got the old Tiar Tart graphic whipped up.
So Tiar Tart, I was alluding to him earlier. I was just combining my tackles here. I talked with what's his name again? Help me out. I'm looking for the tweet.
Tyler?
Tyler. He's Tic Tac Titans to me. So with Tiar Tart, I asked the question, right? I said, hey Tyler, could you provide the Bengals fan base with some insight on Tiar Tart? Thanks in advance. So Tyler's response, and Tyler is Tic Tac Titans on Twitter. Like I said, he's the James Rapine and the Jake Lisco for the Titans. He does Locked On Titans. Okay, so he's got a brain in his head. He said, excellent run stuffer at the nose, good at taking on double teams, holding his ground, 2-down player, but he's got an awesome swim move he uses against the run and pass. He said, though, my opinion is his effort and motivation are the only downside, right? I tell you what, if you come here and you see it with other players, you come here and you're not motivated and you're not playing, and that results in poor play, you're not going to play football here, right? So if Tiar Tart can come in motivated, you've got the 1 for 2, right? We've got the 3 tech that can pass rush, and Tiar Tart's a big human being too. He can help in the run game. Not the size of DJ Reader and going to be as effective, but I think where we lose out on DJ Reader in one player, and that's like specifically just great skill set, we get better in the area of diversification by adding a solid 3 tech and also having a guy that can then stop the middle too. So you got worse, but you also got better in another area. That's how I'm looking at it. If we sign Tiar Tart.
Chill out with the big words. Diversification? What is this? Is this Wall Street?
Well, we were talking about Locked On. Those guys are smart. If we want to fit in with the rest of these, if we want to fit in with the rest of these podcasts, we got to use big words sometimes.
Dumb it down, Ron. We're getting out of control. But no, I think that Tart's the best available on the market as of right now. Shout out Andrew Fox Miller. This one stopped me in my tracks. If there are concerns, Burrow will see right through Tart over a steak dinner. Maybe.
Yeah. Shout out Andrew Fox Miller, also under the big play umbrella. So thanks
coworker for Andrew Fox Miller. The man with the best lighting and camera quality that I've ever seen in this space. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Yeah. This guy has to have like a $40,000 camera. I don't get it.
It's like there's 4K, there's HD, there's all this shit. Like I think he has like 12K. Like I don't know. Like I've never seen a clearer picture. Or maybe he's just that.
I was watching him last night.
That handsome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a brilliant live that they had there.
So yeah, man, with Tart, I think that you get the best nose tackle type that is back on the market at this point. So it's good. I do think if you look at a defensive line that starts Hendrickson, it starts Tart, it starts Rankins, it starts Hubbard, that's pretty damn good. Because I think we're going to see a lot better out of Sam Hubbard. He played a lot of last year banged up with his leg. So I think we're going to see better there. So I think that the fact of the matter is, though, now that Tiar Tart is in Cincinnati or was in Cincinnati, I would like to know if he's still in town, because I don't think he's the kind of guy that can leave without a deal. I don't think that he's like a franchise altering player, but with how the market is set right now and how the Bengals roster is set right now, that guy shouldn't leave Cincinnati without a deal.
Both of them. I know people are like, "Oh, Becton sucks." Both of them. If Becton leaves here, he's going to go visit another team. Right? Whether people are like him or not, and look at the stats and everything, the NFL sees him as a viable option. If he leaves here, someone else is signing him. So I think we need to lock both these guys up, or lock up John. Why can I not remember this guy's name from the Dan Cowboys?
Tyron Smith.
Yeah, Tyron Smith. I keep wanting to say Jones. Or go get him. That's what I need to happen.
Does any of this have you betting on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl? Because if it does, you can check out our official sports betting partner, Tipico Sportsbook, where you can scan the QR code, bet $25, and get $100 in bet credits. The official sports betting partner of the Big Play Network and Big Play Cincy. Was that an ad read or was that an ad read? See me slide that in there? Yeah.
That was the most professional thing I've ever heard you say ever in our lives.
Slide it right in there. Slide it right in there.
I think, yeah. Whew, hold on now. We might need that lawyer, but I think we covered everything tonight, man. I think we talked free agency. Massive, huge thank you to Jesse James, who will absolutely be back on this program if contract things come up. He's abundant resource. Good talk about these guys on these visits. I haven't looked at Twitter in a while. I don't know if you have. I don't know if any news has popped up. Before we get out of here, do you have any comments you want to read and answer, or are you ready to just get on out of here?
I want to apologize a bit to the chat because I didn't want to pop comments up when Jesse was talking and giving great points. I didn't want to take away from what he was doing. Lots of comments. Again, I appreciate you guys. Wedge Gordon's in there talking tech stuff that's like way above my head. Apparently, if we want to get the same kind of audio or video quality as Andrew, we need full frame sensor on a proper camera, AFM.
Well, I don't know what AFM
whatever the hell that means. I think it might be that little card thing he was telling me about that I still haven't bought because it's like $100 and I'm cheap. But we're plugging along. We're learning things as we go. We've got a network of support now and smart people that can help us with stuff. So we're good. Dave Smart, Nick Smart, Cody Smart, Andrew Smart, James is smart.
All of them.
So we're good. Lighting over camera. Andrew, I got these cheap ass Amazon lights everywhere. I got shadows all behind me. What am I doing here? Maybe I need some lighting recommendations from
ring lights or something.
AFM is Andrew Fox Miller. That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
that was like a radio or something. Yeah,
I thought it was like some AMF converter chip. I'm like, dude, I got a MacBook and some shit I bought on Amazon. I don't know.
But I do want to point out before we got out here, we're well over 16, maybe 17 across all platforms. Almost 1,500 on Twitter. Awesome. YouTube's kicking it too. We couldn't do this without you guys. We absolutely love you. We're at the hour at 18 mark, which is pretty good. I got nothing left but a who day.
I got nothing left either. You guys stuck with us a little bit longer than normal. There's a lot of you that have been here from the start of the show to now. We appreciate it. K Breezy, I know you're coming to St. Taddy's Day, and I refuse to not talk to you, hang out with you in person, and drink a garage beer because I appreciate all of your support. I don't know if Wedge Gordon's going. I hope he is. There's a lot of people that I hope to get to finally meet in person. Actually, I met Wedge already in Sam's Club in person, so we crossed off the list. But I hope to meet a lot of you guys in person. Come up, take a picture. If you don't like me, you can try to punch me in the face, and we'll just see who comes out on top. I don't know. I get threats on Twitter too, so that's where I'll be Sunday. Can't wait to see you guys up there. Can't wait to see how much money we cost Ted Karras because we had to get on here and run our mouths a couple months ago.
We have a number. Can we say the number?
I don't know if we should say the number.
I don't think we can. Yeah, I don't think we can either. That's a good idea.
I'm not going to because
let's just say we owe Ted Karras a Jeff Ruby's dinner. Let's say that. How about that?
Because that's what I'm saying. They were like, hey, you're gonna do this thing that we can't tell you guys about. But they're like, so why don't you show up early? And I'm like, are we getting there early so Ted can beat the shit out of us for just starting this?
Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know. Let's see how it all plays out. Fulling Warehouse, Cincinnati on Sunday. Can't wait to see you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. Send this to somebody if you don't like them that much and you want to ruin their day with two morons talking football. But let them know in the middle there is a very smart guy talking.
Hooday.
We'll see you next week on Big Play Cincy. Thursday, 8 o'clock. Same place, same channels, same two morons.